Okay, so Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. The opening is always important, and the reason the opening is important is, as should be the closing, is that you invoke something. You invoke the kind of intention that you wish to carry your dialogue forward with. The actual tradition way of doing it, I mean, there's a whole set of things that you do beforehand to set you up in that space so you're able to talk about it, right? Rather than just getting into it. Hence, it's a very vital part of bringing that kind of energy together. I think what I wanted to speak about today was how do we value our life? Genuinely, how do we value our life? So we have around us at the moment a number of people who are experiencing end of life days and the challenges that actually brings about, the avoidance of those that can't handle that, the arrangements, the impact, the emotional impact of moving through that, and the level of support and the level of support is the word. The level of support that's actually available and accessible when we face this very existential truth. Right? So there's a story, it says that back in the day, Guru Nanak asked his colleague Mardana, go and find out what the truth is. So he went to many, many sages, many individuals, and no one could tell him the truth until he came to one individual. He said, in order to know the truth, we have to know what isn't the truth. And what isn't the truth is the moment from birth to the moment we die. That's the lie. And why is that a lie? Because it's not guaranteed. Whereas this truth is guaranteed. Now, in the Western culture, they freak out about this. They don't want to talk about this stuff because it just freaks them out. They don't know what the hell's going on because we don't understand what is beyond this. So you need to understand something. Birth and death are two sides of the coin, but life still remains. That is really, really in a profound and important realization. And as you do your meditation more and more, you will begin to recognize you always get to the of stillness, silence, timelessness. It's constant. That constant doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. Whether you sleep, whether you're alive, whether you're living, or whether you are not living. The only thing that changes is the start and the end. So it's like a cycle, right? Like an S sign, cycle, sine wave. Start, middle, end, start, middle, end. When we approach this now, going back to my earlier point that I spoke about how we encounter this, if anyone wanted to know what was the most healing and profoundly enlightening experience, would it be to go and sit with a master? Would it be to go and learn at a university? Would it become a monk? Would it become whatever? Nothing teaches you until you encounter the end of life. Nothing teaches you that. What you learn in that moment is many, many things. You learn that you can't hold on to anything. You learn that all that you thought was physical in a human being in a moment disappears, like they never were. You learn that all the things that you may have spent your most precious moments collating, putting together, collecting, has no value. Can't give you one more breath. Can't give you one more breath. And what happens is if we encounter this, We will at some stage in life, that's just the way life is. No matter how much we run away from it, that just is life. We are inevitably tied into that. If we encounter it with open eyes and with the realization, what's the difference between ice and steam? Still the same thing. The state has changed. The state has changed. If we begin to recognize this truth about life, and meditation allows us to do that, because you kind of put your hand in the fire, you realize what you are not, and therefore what you are. What tends to happen is when you encounter this, even this conversation, when we encounter this, there is a process that begins. And this process is a process that allows us to develop a way of living in which we can be all in the world, but not necessarily of it. We don't allow all the stuff that's around us to influence our understanding of life, post-life, life, post-life. And you can say, okay, post-life or post-death. I don't like to use the word life. Post-death. Um, you can be in heaven. You can be wherever you want. Makes no bloody difference. Choose whatever you want. The cycle is the same. The cycle is the same. Start, middle, end, start, middle, end. Everything works to this. The only thing that doesn't work to this is silence, timelessness. And therefore, through meditation, we begin to cultivate this inner peace and trust within ourselves. When we encounter this and we give it some thought process and something begins to shift, our priorities change. The way we think changes, the way we talk changes, the way we hold grudges against others changes. All of which releases you towards a better way of living. Over and above that, which is what the impact has with your own self and how it changes, well, you can apply that at a more global space. We are now there. So this, if you go and read any near-death experiences, people who have had cardiac arrest or other kinds of experiences where they've died for a few hours or a day, either they've drowned or whatever, however they've done an electric shock, you'll find that there's similarity in what they report back. And what the critical thing is that life changes for them forever. Well, at a global level, humanity is in this space now, with the kind of noise and the nonsense that is just accelerating and becoming more and more erratic. You can just watch it and see it, but not get too engaged with it. Well, it allows the world to come to some kind of a brink, like a global near-death space, where you think, hold on a second, how long do we carry on with this? How long do we carry on? At a very fundamental level, not intellectual, not trying to work it out, this is the way we have peace or this is the way we have peace. When you realize, going back to our end of life space, when you realize the fragility of life, all the nonsense drops away. All the nonsense drops away. You ain't interested in the soap operas. You ain't interested in the rubbish. All of that. And this is where humanity appears to be very rapidly kind of moving towards. So as much as it may sound unstable, much as it may sound anxious, anxiety inducing or fear inducing, remember that all of this takes us, one, for ourselves to encounter this mortality that we were all bound within, but to recognize it doesn't finish. Existence doesn't finish. The ocean never changes. The waves keep changing. You, me, the whole thing around you is nothing more than manifestation of the waves on the ocean of consciousness. That's all there is to it. Whether it's a star, a nebula, a worm, a dog, a cat, me, you, a raindrop, it makes no difference. Different vibration of the same thing. When you begin to realize what you are by knowing what you're not, you will realize there's no difference between you and the blade of grass. There's no difference between you and the star. And this is where humanity now needs to learn. And it ain't going to learn with the current wisdom idiots that we have. Whether it's at the universities, no one teaches you. There's a big difference between information and knowledge. Big difference. And there is an even bigger difference between knowledge and wisdom. And I ask this question again and again and again. Where does the modern culture get its wisdom from? TikTok? Facebook? YouTube? Where are the masters? Where are the Buddhas? Where are the Lao Tzus? Where are the Nanaks? Where are the Kabirs? Ain't got any. So where do you get your wisdom from? How do you know what life is about? That's what I mean about wisdom. What do you know about what life's about? Does anyone tell you that? You enter into a game which has rules to it. But the ones who know the rules change the rules. So by the time you enter the game, even the rules that you have been distorted. You're going to get your house. You're going to get married. You're going to get your kids. You're going to accumulate wealth. You're going to go work 9 to 5. You're going to do all of this to be successful. Well, tell me, which one of these will give you one extra breath? Put all of this together. Can it buy someone who is no longer here even for 1 minute? Useless. Useless. And there's a great story from the Indic tradition. It said when Alexander the Great went towards India, there's a few things they'd ask you. There's 3 or 4 stories that related to this. One of them is that on the way back, he fell ill. So he went, consulted an oracle. And the oracle said, look, you will die under a canopy of gems while you lie on a bed of gold. And he thought, well, I'm traveling, so the chances are I should be all right by the time I get home. And anyway, as things went on, he became ill. And in his final days, as the story or this particular illustration goes to show, is that he's lying there and it's a really hot sun. It's in Rajasthan somewhere. And his general comes and holds a shield above him so the sun doesn't enter his eyes. And his prime minister lays his cloak down, which has gold coins in it. And it's in that moment he realized, I'm lying on a gold bed and I'm covered with a canopy of gems. And it's after this he makes this decision. He said, you make sure that when my last moments come, that my hands are open to demonstrate. Even though I have done all of this, I actually come in naked, go in naked. These fundamental truths can really help us live in a different way. And we have to get to the point of realizing that carnage to accumulate land or people or resources is not acceptable. It doesn't matter how, who, why. Not acceptable. Not acceptable on anyone, by anyone. And the only way we're going to get there is when we feel that repulsion. Like someone who feels repulsed at eating flesh or human flesh or beef or whatever they kind of, have their little thing with, or vegetables, sprouts. I mean, that's not, let's not forget that. So it's that internal space that this is what you watch for. This is what you watch for. This is what you do. In all of this, because things are getting erratic and it impacts your mental health, impacts your emotional health, and it will definitely impact the way you live. So important to come out of it, important to realize the only thing that is the bedrock of anxiety, the bedrock of anxiety is mortality. Once you look at that with open eyes, that anxiety begins to fade away. It doesn't matter what it is, it begins to fade away. Yeah? That was a bit of a dark subject, but I thought I'd touch it today. I'll just start opening it a little bit anyway. Okay, guys, let's do a bit of meditation. So, as usual, we begin with our posture. And you're going to set your intention. Okay? Intention, attention, and attitude. 3 things if you can remember. So the intention is to be present. And the way to be present is to give attention to things that are happening right now. So things that are happening right now are the things that are happening with your body at the moment. So those are your sensations. So pain can be only felt right now. It can't be felt tomorrow, and it can't be felt yesterday. So even if you remember the pain that you had yesterday, you'll find that you don't actually feel it. So a sensation can only be experienced in the present moment. Attention. The second thing that we can give attention to is our breath. So you notice that the breath can only be taken place in the present moment. And the third object we can give attention to is sound, because sound too can only happen in the present moment. And silence can only be experienced in the present moment. Okay. On your next breath in, draw your breath in, bringing your focus to your whole body. Focusing your attention on any sensation that's dominant. And the attitude we have is non-judgmental. So no commentary, no judgment, simply a quick scan starting from the top of your head. Imagine this hula hoop moving down, scanning your body. Pain, ache, tightness, itch. Next breath in, bring your focus now on the seat that you're on. And you will notice there are sensations where the body makes contact with your seat. And whatever you're sitting on, notice that you are held in place. You can afford to let go a little bit. Allow your body to soften a bit. Allow yourself to be held totally. And the ground beneath you holds you too. The space around you and encompasses you, surrounds you, and the breath in front of you can only be drawn by the air in front of you. In this moment that holds you, embeds you here and now, also contains everything else that exists right now. Every star, every planet, every plant, every bird, every fish, every earthworm, all that exists right now with you. Once again, bring your focus to the sensations where your body makes contact with your chair. From those sensations, move your focus up so you become aware of your hips. Gently moving down your thighs towards your knees. From your knees, you move down towards your ankles, scanning the back of your legs. From your ankles, becoming aware of your feet. Very meticulous, very deliberate. Remember, you're looking for sensations. And then bringing your focus to the feet, to the soles of your feet. Next breath in, bring your focus now back to the chair that you're on or your seat. Once again, allow it to hold you, to support you. Notice the back is straight and upright. And then as you breathe in, you bring your focus from your lower back to your middle back. Once again, all you're doing is just doing a quick scan. From your middle back, you move up towards your shoulder blades. Notice your shoulders. See if you can soften them a bit. Allow them to relax somewhat. Unburden yourself. And then gently bringing your focus down your arms towards your elbows. From your elbows, you go down to your wrists. And then gently bringing your focus to the palms of your hands. And hold your awareness there as best as you can. then gently allow this awareness to move towards your fingers. So the tips of your fingers, and then as you breathe in, you bring your focus towards your eyes. Begin to notice that you have awareness, or there is awareness of the back of your eyelids. Awareness of darkness. There can be awareness of thoughts. Notice that this awareness cannot be switched off. Permanently aware. And then as you breathe out, you allow your eyes to soften. Next breath in, bring your focus towards your mouth. You want to notice the upper lip, if you can, scanning it from left to right. See what sensations are present there. Sensations present on the lower lip. And then gently bringing your focus within your mouth. Sensations on the roof of your mouth. Sensations on the inside cheeks. And then bringing your focus to your tongue. Does it feel firm? Allow it to soften. Allow your jaw to soften. And then as you breathe out, you allow your face to soften. Next breath in, once again, become aware of your body as best as you can. Quick check-in. Any dominant sensation? And then bringing your focus just beneath your nose. And on your next breath in, you're going to bring your focus to your inner space, moving inwards, noticing your thoughts and how you feel. So we begin with the mental space. Do you feel alert or do you feel drowsy? Are you able to focus or do you feel distracted? Does your mental space feel clear or does it feel noisy and crowded? Gently bringing your focus to your chest, and you begin to notice the movement of the chest in rhythm with your breath. Breathing in, your chest expands, and as you relax, you breathe out, holding your focus on the surface of your chest. Notice the movement in relation with your breath. Now moving your focus a bit deeper into yourself, into your very core. Your focus right into your center of your heart. As best as you can hold your focus there. And as you hold your focus at this center space, begin to notice how you're actually feeling right now. Is this moment enough? Just this moment. Not where you are, what you are, just the moment. Does this moment feel enough? Do you feel content? Is there something missing? Does this moment feel settled or unsettled? And then on your next breath out, you're going to open your awareness to all the sounds around you. Any noise, it's going to come to you. You don't need to look for it. All you're doing is just listening. No judgment, no commentary, just listening. On your next breath in, bring your focus just beneath your nose. Begin to watch the movement of your breath. holding your focus beneath your nose with a little bit of effort. Allow the breath to breathe by itself. Stay with your breath. Notice that the in-breath has a start, middle, end. Out-breath has a start, middle, end. See if you can notice that in your breath. Stay with your breath. Stay with your breath. Now, to help us move deeper into this moment, we begin to follow our out-breath all the way towards the end. Notice when it finishes exactly. When does your out-breath stop? Before the in-breath begins. Allowing every out-breath to move you deeper, relax, yet alert. Following your out-breath all the way till the end. Allowing your body to relax a little bit further, entering in the present moment as best as you can. Notice how the breath feels now. That change in the breath is indicative of the change in your consciousness. Notice if the breath is light or it feels heavy. Notice if your breath has a sound. Try and listen to the in-breath as it comes in. Try and listen to your out-breath as you go out. Does the in breath sound the same as the out breath? Listening. Listening to your breath as best as you can. And on your next breath out, you're going to open your awareness to all the sounds around you, including the sound of your breath. Allowing the sound of the bell to take you deeper into the silence, just following it. No effort, just follow. Gently bring your focus just beneath your nose, sitting with your breath in silence. Stay with your breath. Notice your experience as best as you can. If it feels peaceful, focus on the peace. If it feels silent, focus on the silence. On your next breath out, expanding your awareness to include your whole body once again. Notice if there's any discomfort in the body. Once again, bring your focus to your seat. Notice you're held in place. Sensations where your body makes contact with your seat. Gently bringing your awareness up towards your hips, becoming aware of the sensations around your hips. Allowing this awareness to move down your thighs towards your knees. Scanning the back of your legs, the front of your legs, moving towards your ankles. Then notice your feet. Notice the soles of your feet. Bringing your focus back to the seat you're on. Notice the back is straight and upright. Your shoulders, arms, hands comfortable. Your eyes are still closed. Your mouth is still closed and your face is relaxed. Bringing your focus back to your breath. And now as the breath moves in, you can sense your body. As the breath moves out, you can sense your body. Breathing in, you can sense your body. Breathing out, you can sense your body. Breathing in, you can sense your body. Breathing out, you can sense your body. When you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw some slow, deep breaths in, and in your own good time, gently opening your eyes, coming back to the place you began, bringing some of that peace back with you. Enjoy the silence before the bell.